India floundered in their first major challenge here at the ICC Women's T20 World Cup in South Africa, losing to England by 11 runs in what was their third group stage fixture at the St. George's Park here in Cleverha on Saturday. Despite Richa Ghosh's 47 not out, her third straight unbeaten innings at this World Cup, and Renuka Singh's 5 for 15, the best T20I bowling figures by an Indian bowler across men's or women's cricket. India, for the best part of the game, found themselves playing catch-up after Harmanpreet Kaur, the India captain, who became the most capped player, T20I player in history with her 149th appearance on Saturday, won the toss and opted to bowl first. Hello to all the Newsworthy viewers. My name is Anubha Ghosh. Stay with me as I dissect some of the major talking points from India's defeat to England, which now leaves them in a slightly tricky position as far as their dreams and aspirations and pursuit of making the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup is concerned, with just one, the fourth and final of their group matches to go. A 150 plus chase was always going to require substantial contributions from the Indian lineup, and they could ill afford to be reliant on just the finisher that we've seen Richa Ghosh to be. And Richa Ghosh, mind you, has been India's best and most consistent batter so far at this World Cup. But fortunately for India on Saturday against England, their opener Smriti Mandhana did put her hand up and score a gritty 50, albeit in a somewhat circumspect fashion, and that could probably have been down to the fact that she needed a lot of support around her, which didn't really come until the arrival of Richa Ghosh to the crease, because be it Shefali Verma, Smriti Mandhana's opening partner, Jemimah Rodrigues or Harmanpreet Kaur, all of them fell cheaply, and barring Mandhana and Richa Ghosh, no other batter in the Indian lineup on the day was able to get to even close to scoring at a strike rate of 100, let alone above 8. One of India's best finishers in the game, their captain Harmanpreet Kaur, could have perhaps opted for a bit of circumspection on her part. She could have tried keeping India in the hunt by just being out there with Smriti Mandhana and forged a partnership, kept chipping away at the target. But instead, she went for a rather cavalier stroke, which I think most people following Harmanpreet's game over the past few years haven't seen her play really in the past 19 months to 24 months. As a result, she ended up losing her shape to that delivery bowled by England left-arm spinner Sophie Ecclestone, one of the best bowlers we have in women's white ball cricket, and Harmanpreet was eventually caught at covers. The result that followed was India slid to 62 for 3 and were looking at a deficit of 90 runs. Sure, Smriti Mandhana struck some good blows there and was able to put together a partnership with Richa Ghosh of about 40 to 43 runs. But once Smriti Mandhana fell, a ball after getting to her 50, the onus sort of fell on Richa Ghosh, who was trying to come up with answers to a solution she couldn't resolve all by herself. She needed some support, which she didn't get, and in fact she was parched of the strike at a time she should have gotten more of that, because both Pooja Vastrakar and Deepti Sharma weren't able to find their fluency early, which eventually cost India in the form of the slowness of their approach. To Richa Ghosh's credit though, the 19-year-old carted 17 runs in a 19-run 20th over, the final over of the game, delivered by the legendary medium pacer Catherine Silver-Brunt, though India needed 31 runs of it. As a result, therefore, Richa Ghosh's onslaught proved too little too late to salvage the day for India, and subsequently England extended their run, their head-to-head encounters result against India at T20 World Cups, to a whopping 6-0. Earlier, swing bowler Renuka Singh made the most of the overcast conditions here at the St. George's Park in Cleverha. She was able to take a wicket right in her first over, thanks largely to a superb one-handed catch by wicketkeeper Richa Ghosh, whose initial movement in response to that catch, that edge by Danny Wyatt, was to her left, but she was able to change her movement quick enough and stick her right hand in time to grab that Danny Wyatt edge to give India a strong start. Renuka Singh Thakur took a total of 3 wickets in an unbroken spell of 3 overs in the power play and handed India the edge, but India were unable to capitalize on the start and ended up squandering the momentum to a great extent in the middle overs. Those were the overs 7 to 15 when Natalie Silverbrandt, the player of the match, started upping the scoring rate and took it to almost 8 runs per over. Amy Jones's 40 runs in the lower middle order also proved crucial in the larger scheme of things, as did Sophie Ecclestone's 11 runs. With the win against India, England strengthened their position atop the points table in Group 2 and have their nose well ahead of the pack as far as the race to the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup is concerned. England play their fourth and final group stage fixture on Tuesday, while India will take on Ireland in their final group stage fixture on Monday.